Welcome to another episode of High Proof Ashes. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jason JB Smoke, and across from me this time,
Know what it is? No cool nickname, Duran. Can't say we back in the building because we decided to come outside again.
we're back outside the building.
Yeah, back outside the building.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day.
Yeah, man.
It's a little breezy, so no problems there. But it's gonna be a gorgeous sunny day.
Yeah, I think it's about 74 degrees, so
Absolutely,
should be perfect for smoking and drinking outside.
absolutely. I mean, as soon as the weather starts turning nice, I love coming out here and just enjoying it just as much as everybody else, I'm sure.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
But let's get into it. So
Let's do this.
Today we have something that is a little rare, but if you search for it, I think you'll be able to find it.
Yeah,
so
it's out there.
Today we have the Perdomo 12-year aged cigar.
Yeah.
And what makes this one different from the other Perdomos is that the raw tobacco, the unrolled tobacco, is aged 10 years. They roll it, and then they age it another 2 years in a bourbon barrel.
Yep.
Just like they age everything. So the difference here is that the actual raw product is aged extra long.
Yeah.
And I tried this one for the first time. I bought it in a sampler from Smokey Bear.
Gotcha.
And it was a pretty decent price for the set. And there were 2 of these in there, and I smoked it and loved it and was like, I need to find this thing.
Yeah.
Went out and found it. Like, wasn't that hard. It's just that you're not going to find them in your B&Ms. Like, they just
every once in a while.
As singles, from what I understand, it's really hard to find these in singles.
So I'm pretty positive I bought one from Humidor.
Okay.
But we know
that wouldn't surprise me.
We know Humidor, right?
Yeah.
So, and the day I happened to be there, the Perdomo rep was there.
Yeah.
So, actually, I'm not sure if I bought it or that's the one he gave me.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think this is the best Perdomo out there.
Okay.
Now, that's not saying that the normal 10-year anniversary one isn't good.
It's up there. It's up there.
Like all the 10-year ones are really good.
Yeah,
this one is just slightly better, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely up there at close to the top of the list.
But for our spirits today, we have something that a lot of you probably recognize, and then something that you won't recognize.
Yeah, probably haven't seen it before.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Since it just dropped recently. But our first one is the Maker's Mark, number 46, and it is it 100 proof?
I think it's more.
Or 110. This one's
Cask
110. Yeah, this is a Cask strength. And this one is the French oak. There is another one that is what? What's the difference?
I want to say it's right around 100, something like that.
No, I mean, this one's French oak. What's the other one? Is it just not French oak?
It's not French oak.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a regular Cask strength, but I think if we have to pick one, again, you know me, not
a fan of Maker's Mark.
I'm not a Maker's guy,
yeah.
But if I had to drink one, that would probably be the one. So it's better than the rest. It's the proof picks it up, right? Like that's normally my complaint with Maker's Mark is the proof is way too low, so the proof on that picks it up a little bit.
Well, that'll be interesting because I enjoy the 101.
Yeah.
But that's because it's a different mash build. So I guess this is the same mash build, but with the finish on it.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we'll see. And then our other one, I think you know a little bit more about that one than I do.
So this is the newest drop from Pursuit, and to be completely honest, I don't know a whole bunch about it. What I do know is that we went to Pursuit and picked it out. So we tried probably 16 different combinations that day, and came up with this one. We almost died picking this bottle.
I love that. I don't love that, but
a guy ran us off the road.
I love that. That's your memory of the picking.
Yeah, man. Like, and so here's the crazy part. It's my first time going to do a pick, right? Like, and the first time we almost die on it. So, guy literally ran us off the road. But it's very tasty. It's great. And this is their first time doing a pick. So that's what's impressive about this. This is the first time
Pursuit has done a pick.
First time Pursuit has done
really?
A pick. Yeah, this is the very first one right here.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. It's 108 proof, but look forward to you tasting it on camera, and letting everybody see us.
Yeah, I mean, I've only had one taste of it, and it was quite good. So
I got to remember. I'm trying to remember. This is supposed to be called something specific. It's a pup. I can't remember what pup means. Pursuit. Give me I'm gonna Google this while we're sitting here because I don't want to get this wrong.
Well, so Pursuit is known for blending, and I believe
Yes.
this has got some New York, Kentucky, and Tennessee.
It does.
In it. Yeah. Okay.
Let's see.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get into these guys. I've got my cigar cut for the
Pursuit
aroma.
United Private.
Oh, okay.
So, private barrel selection. That's what it is. PUP. Pursuit United Private.
Private. Okay.
All right.
Well, the aroma on this is just.
Yeah, I mean, it smells incredible.
Like it's super aromatic.
It's probably one of the stronger smelling cigars, just from a cold.
Yeah, I mean
it's strong.
It smells very traditional.
Yes.
Like like you've got some super traditional brand that you're just smelling on, and it smells aged.
The cold draw is good too, man.
It's Perdomo, man. Oh, we got a little wind.
All right, here we go. Hold on.
Just as we're trying to light
my fingers, like this daggone torch.
Just as we're trying to light. Of course.
Oh man.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, that's good.
Damn, that's better than good. That's definitely better than good.
I'm telling you. First time I smoked
stick.
this thing, I was like, I have got to get a box of these. Like, how much are these things?
Well,
so
we can't go backwards from this. We got to go up.
I've got an idea of what we're gonna do next. But or what we can do after this.
Damn, that's great, dude.
So, real quick, talking price. This comes in a box of 20, and I was able to get them for $2.80. So
okay,
$14 a cigar.
That's a pretty good price for these.
I mean, so now if you find them in a B&M at a singles price, they're probably going to be substantially more.
Yeah, probably around 20, 21, something like that.
Just because of the rarity of it, So,
what you starting with on a drink?
I'm going to start with the Pursuit.
You gonna start with the Pursuit?
Oh, we forgot to do the clean palate taste again.
I mean, I think we're close enough to the beginning that it'll be pretty close. Put the cigars down.
Put the cigar down.
There we go.
So we're trying.
I'm a rinse too. We're
trying to.
I did it clean though. I have done it clean.
Okay.
I picked it, so I've had it at its earliest stage.
Of course you have.
And then it was aged for another 3 months before they bottled it. And then I had it at the store. So.
Okay. All right. Oh, you got yours signed.
I did.
I love what it says too.
So the other, he signed 2 bottles for me. The other one says, "Glad you survived the trip."
You got to keep that one.
Yes,
you got to keep that one. That's
cool. So we'll drink this one. But he thought it was hilarious. I was talking about walking in with another 2 bottles. My wife is going to kill me. And he's like, "What's your wife's name?" I was like, "Why?" He was like, "I'm putting it on the bottle." I was like, "All right, well, let's do this. If that's what we're doing."
That's fun, though. I think that's fun.
I have not done this
in a while.
I haven't done it without a cigar.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to do this because I've only taken a few puffs. So I'm going to try this one.
Man, the aroma,
because I know I'm not a huge fan of it. That's just, man, it's so like buttery, viscous, like,
And the price on it is nice.
$62.
Like $62.
$62.
In an age of private barrels.
I want to say it's
like
around 7 years, something like that, I think.
Well, it's a blend, so
yeah, but like the overall blend age is, I want to say around 7 years, something like that, I think.
But I mean, in this age of barrel picks,
God, that smells like it's hot as hell.
It's nice to see that a pick for $62.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
It's better. It's a little
better.
It's better today.
Oh man, this is so good. This is so good.
I'm surprised at how good it was. Very good when we tried it originally, but that is like it's completely different than.
It's so like you say, it's buttery, it's floral, it's fruity.
Yep.
I get a little bit of caramel. It's got that kind of viscous coat in the mouth. I mean, wow, that's really great. That bottle is not gonna last.
No, I already know.
On the shelf, like
I already know.
Not gonna last.
So like,
wow.
It's probably one that I'm gonna pick up a third bottle and hide somewhere. Might take it to OCL and put it in my locker.
There you go.
Shouldn't say that on camera. I just told on myself. And this is my first drink of the day. Dry snitching already.
Same here. Dry snitching. Love that.
This is just okay for me.
Okay.
It's better than I remember it being. I'll say that.
But probably not something that you'd visit often.
No, not at all. It actually doesn't. It's not in my bar. It's on top of it.
Okay.
You know, it's one of those that if somebody came over to the house and they wanted to have a drink, I wouldn't mind them drinking it because I wouldn't miss it. So.
Okay. But again, you're not a Makers fan.
I'm not a Makers fan. And it's not as if it's not flavorful. Like it is. It's flavorful. It doesn't do something for my palate.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's just not for you.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. It's not desirable for me. So.
But what about the picks? Do you enjoy
some of them? I've had a decent one. Like Aaron's the other day was pretty good.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
But as far as Maker's Mark as a whole, I can't.
I understand.
I don't know what it is. Like most of them are just really, really light. So. But yeah,
I mean, hey, to each his own, right? To each his own.
God, that.
What'd you think of that, man?
It's just so good, like really and truthfully, It's absolutely a beautiful cigar too, like,
Yeah, so get into that band, man.
There's just so much.
I think that's one band.
I can't.
That's one big band.
Wow. There are so many things on here. So first thing that I noticed right off the back is like, because I'm a bourbon guy, right? Like I noticed that age 12 years, right?
Right.
It stands out, right? Like, oh, that's age 12 years. And to me, that resonates because I drink bourbon. So the older the cigar or the older the bourbon, 9 times out of 10, the better it is, right?
Absolutely.
Same thing with this cigar, man. Like they've done a great job aging it. And then as you move over, you see that it's hand selected. And I would assume that that's
Nick Perdomo.
Nick Perdomo. So that's his signature there. On the other side, it said matured in bourbon barrels, special edition. And above it, it's got this beautiful red with gold writing, and it says vintage. And then above that, you get the traditional Perdomo look. I don't know what they call that that they use there, but it's on a lot of their cigars. The logo.
It's kind of in the shape of a sunflower, but I think those are tobacco leaves.
Okay, maybe. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. I can definitely see that. And then, of course, we've got that it's barrel aged. It says Nicaragua on one side, handmade on the other. I mean, really and truthfully, like this is one of those bands that, like, I think Perdomo has kind of gotten to the point now as well that, like, what it is from across the room, right? Because of the band. Like all of their cigars have pretty big bands on them.
They do. Well, that Perdomo logo.
Yeah,
is big.
And that logo stands out so much, right? So you can notice a Perdomo from across the room, but this one specifically would stand out to you because of how much more glamorous it is, right? Like it would let you know it's the big bad wolf in the pack.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, and each one of their boxes have a little paper thing that flips out to tell you the awards that it's won and the scores that they've won, and and all that kind of stuff. So
the cool thing about Perdomo is their draw testing. I know a lot of people do draw testing, but Perdomo is serious about it.
They are,
like
QC out the crazy.
Every single cigar is going to be great. Like you're very rarely going to find a Perdomo that doesn't smoke well.
Right.
I mean, their quality control and testing is just top notch. Which is why I enjoy Perdomos.
Got a little bug flying around.
There's a few things flying around out here. It was something
big
back there. Yeah, I know, but
you're outside.
Listen, y'all, If whatever that huge thing was flying in his flower bed over there comes up here, I won't be in the frame anymore. Just so you know.
It was probably a carpenter bee.
I mean, maybe.
And so that's what you see. That's what that is right there. That is a carpenter bee trap.
You know.
And them little
I've
SOBs,
seen carpenter bees. He wasn't buzzing around the wood. You know,
not yet. Not yet.
He was big.
Yeah. Right now that they haven't started, you know, I guess drilling in. But man, I'll tell you what, it's nothing for them. Like you see that little white spot on that post right there over there?
Yep.
That's where one drilled in.
Yeah.
And I had to fill it in.
Yep.
Like
they're little monsters. Like don't get it twisted.
And I'm talking all of 10 seconds.
Yeah. They're little monsters.
He was in there. Like I actually watched him do it because I was kind of curious about it. And I mean, 10 seconds later, he's got a hole and he's got himself in there, and it's crazy. You know, so if you got a problem with carpenter bees, they sell these little traps with little jars on them, and they work perfect, man. I must have caught 50 carpenter bees last season. Yeah, it was a lot. Like it was that thick in the jar. Like so
they don't see their homies and realize they shouldn't be in there.
No. And of course, when they fly in there, you have to just let them I'm going to say let them die. I don't know how they die. I don't know if they suffocate or if they starve.
So you don't know if it's humane or not.
I have no idea.
Yeah. They just not here no more.
That's right. And they're not drilling holes in my posts. But I've got 2 of them, and they work.
Okay.
So
you don't have to put anything in it?
No. They see the little hole.
And they just go right for it.
And they, right. And
carpenter
when they go
bees
in,
are males, aren't they?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's hilarious. I have no idea.
Oh, mercy.
But they see the little hole and think it's their home and go in there. And I guess once they go in so far, it just drops them and they can't fly out.
Yeah.
And so
that's how we get caught most of the time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's true.
Sound like they're men.
Steve's talking about a glory hole over here, man. Like
that's not what I said, brother. I didn't say.
Oh, okay. You didn't go that. You weren't going that far.
I wasn't going that far.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh man,
this cigar is phenomenal, though. I can't even front. Y'all are getting live action out here. Like we are just. This is off the cuff, man. Like realistically, nothing here planned. Today we are literally smoking and drinking, and I think it works so much better. When we get out and kind of have fun.
Look, it's a great time to hang out with your buddies, and just relax and have a smoke and a couple of drinks, and so we do it on the regular at the various lounges. But we're going to be heading to Smokey Bear soon. Hang out.
You're heading to Smokey Bear.
Oh, are you not going?
I'm not going to go.
Oh, okay.
I got to pick and choose, man. Like again, feel like it turned into all cigars and bourbon and no regular stuff. So we got Wednesday, then I did Friday, today, and then possibly tomorrow. I was like, nah, liver can't do all that.
I hear you. Yeah.
But and right, like I want to hang out with the wife too.
Sure,
so,
absolutely.
Figure something out.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of, the weather's getting better. There's a lot of festivals and, various community events going on that, really fun to go to.
The construction on that thing is freaking. I mean,
it's a great cigar.
The smoke production, like. I keep saying that we're like fanboys of Drew Estate, but I really think we're like huge fans of several brands, right?
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely.
What would you say is your favorite brand of cigar to smoke?
I think that Drew Estate is my favorite brand.
Okay.
But I don't know that I smoke it more than I do like some other brand.
Mm-hmm.
And that's honestly because I can get other brands cheaper.
Yeah.
So, like I really enjoy the Liga line. Yeah. Any of the Ligas really, right? But they're cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
And so you can't really smoke those all the time.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Even this is cheaper than any Liga out there. And then the regular Perdomos, you can get those for $10. Like we've had a lot of cigars on the podcast that are in the $8 to $12.
Absolutely.
$8 to $12 range. And then we've had some that we can get even cheaper than that.
Yes.
So I tend to smoke those more. But I still would say that Drew Estate is my favorite brand as a whole. But a close second is probably Perdomo.
Okay.
Probably.
See, mine would,
and then AJ would probably be next.
So I would think mine's would be. Funny enough, I think it's changed. It would be Drew Estate 1, right? Because like you said, I'm a huge fan of all of the Liga stuff. Definitely the Undercrown 10, all decked out, right? And even the Undercrown Maduro, like, you know, I still venture into those every once in a while. But after that, I think I would go LFD.
Ah, okay.
I think LFD, you know, between the Lennox, the Solus, you know, Chisel, you know, all of the great sticks that you can get from LFD, man, like.
Yeah, and they're the $12 to $14 range. You know,
yeah,
some of them are even $10.
Yeah. And you know, if you find them on a really good deal, sometimes you can even get them a little bit less. Well, I've only found the Lennox for less than,
yes,
you know, retail.
Absolutely. But yeah, LFD, you know, that's a great brand, and there's not too many great brands from the Dominican Republic.
Oh,
you know, so I think that's interesting. You know, that LFD has been able to carve out a piece of the market, you know, from the Dominican.
Right. Yeah, because you know the monster of monsters is there, right? Like, so making a name for yourself after them is a pretty big deal.
Well, I don't even think it's just that. I also just don't think that the Dominican Republic
it's not a great environment, right? Like,
right.
To grow and mature cigars. But so I think if you say you're coming from the Dominican Republic, right, the problem is people are going to measure you against Puente.
Absolutely. Well, yes, but also Nicaragua and, you know, cigars that come from other countries.
Absolutely, but being in the backyard
you're not
of
wrong.
Like
you're not wrong.
One of the biggest and baddest manufacturers of cigars in the industry.
Right.
You better be a good stick, right? Like,
and for me, a lot of times they don't measure up.
So, which is why, like, I think what LFD is doing is special. They actually have a very good cigar.
They do.
I wonder, like, you know, how they came about. Did they, you know?
I don't know the history of the company.
Yeah, me neither.
I actually don't even know if they're independent or if they're owned by, you know, one of the big guys.
Yeah.
You know, like General or Altatus or something like that. I have to look that up.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm actually not sure. I don't know a whole lot about LFD. I mean, to be fair, LFD is not one of those brands that you just find everywhere.
Mm-mm.
You know, and I don't know what the deal with that is. I don't know if it's just because it's a large investment for a shop.
Yeah.
Or what.
Normally you find them at your larger shops.
Right, exactly.
The ones that have much bigger budgets, right?
Yep.
You know, so, but in most places, if you're in a major metropolitan area, that's not a problem.
Yep.
Right. Especially since the cost of cigars in other places are just outrageous. But in a smaller community like ours, you know, our local spot doesn't carry them, but they're supposed to be carrying them. I think he said, right? Mm-hmm. They're supposed to be coming in. So we'll see. Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah, I mean they've definitely got a handful that I really enjoy. You know, like you say, the Lennox is probably one of my favorites. From
absolutely. If I could get them all the time, I'd absolutely be on them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pay the retail price for them.
And that's, you know, that they're like $14.
Yeah, I don't want to pay retail for them.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. But they do have some other ones. You know, they're like you say, the Chisel. Some of, you know, they have a Candela. You know, they have a Connecticut.
Yeah.
But make no mistake, even those two are still really strong.
Yeah.
Like LFD is known for strong cigars.
They are known for the strength of their cigars, which is why I enjoy them so much, to be completely honest. So,
well, they're also really flavorful.
Right.
You know, and so like it's not just bare strength.
No, not at all. But for me, in order for you to like make it to a cigar that I consider something that I really enjoy smoking all the time, the strength has to be there, one, right?
Yeah.
The flavor definitely has to be there as well. But I first and foremost, I need a cigar strong enough to actually entertain my palate. Because a lot of times.
So how does this stack up as far as strength?
This is phenomenal. This is a medium to full cigar.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's on the higher end of medium, lower end of full.
Yeah.
But it's a full flavor stick.
Yeah.
So
it's complex.
Yeah.
Like that's my thing is.
So as a first stick of the day, this works for me, right? Because it's not overly strong. Like it's not like jumping into a Chisel, right? Like
sure.
First stick of the day Chisel, like that. That's for real. Like you better be ready. Same thing with a Lennox. I think a Lennox is up there as far as strength.
I agree with you.
You know, the
what is it? The Solus.
The Solus is strong, but it's more mellow.
Right. So if you were gonna do multiples, you would do the Solus, and then you would do the
you
Lennox.
would do the Lennox next. Yeah. And then you would probably, if you still had to smoke at the end of the day, you would have to go Chisel last, because I think it's the strongest of the pair.
Yeah.
Of all three of those that we just mentioned.
Yep. Or like an Airbender or something like that, which is just a smaller version of the Digger, right? Yeah. But they have that proprietary cap, right? Which is the Chisel.
Yeah.
And actually, is it proprietary? Like, do they have a trademark on it, or are they just the only ones that do it?
I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head that has it.
Yeah, I know no one else does it, but I'm wondering, is that because they just don't, or because they have a trademark, or is it proprietary?
Could you trademark something like that?
I don't know. Put it in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know. If you know these things, let us know.
So, it just goes to show you how deep the cigar rabbit hole goes, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, I can't say enough good things about this cigar, to be completely honest. Like, it's just burning beautifully. The smoke production. I know you probably can't see it on camera the same way.
I bet they
can. Well, not the same way that you could inside,
yeah.
Right? It's probably hard for you to see the whisk of smoke right now, I would think, because the light behind us, that type of thing. But phenomenal stick. Like, God, if you haven't had one of these,
it's beautiful.
You just gotta go find it.
Like, I'm savoring them because I literally have to buy them by the box.
Yeah,
I can't just buy a 10-pack or whatever, a 5-pack, or maybe you could, but I think it would just be more expensive to do it that way.
Absolutely. But here's the thing. This is one of those sticks that, so I think we found another one that it smokes at its price point or above, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, if you can find this retail for $16, $17,
buy it.
Buy it.
Buy it. Absolutely.
Buy it. Right? You won't be disappointed. Even up to, 2021 is still a good buy for this cigar. Like, for what it is, being aged 10 years and then, an additional 2, like, dude, like,
especially the size.
That's another thing.
Like, this is what they call their sizes are,
their Vitolas are different.
Like, the names are different, right?
Yeah.
So this is what they call the Epicure, which I believe is a 6x56.
Okay.
It's actually probably on the cello, but I believe it's a 6x56. Yours blew away.
Okay.
I saw it blow away earlier when we were trying to light. Let me see. No, it doesn't actually say it. It just says Epicure on it.
Okay.
But I believe it's a 6x56. So I mean, it's a big Toro.
That's about right.
Yeah, it's a big Toro. And I mean, you're getting a lot of cigar for your money.
Yeah, I agree. But even with that being said, I feel like it's smoking kind of fast. Like,
So this is it's so good. I can't
can't put it down. Yeah. Like, I literally have sat this down twice, and the 2 times I sat it down was to pour a drink.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's what happens when you get these really good cigars. It's like, man, this is so good. A puff, puff, puff.
I didn't retro this. I just thought about that. Let's see here. The complexities.
You just sail through them, right?
Yeah, man. It's such a phenomenal stick, dude. Like, so easy to smoke too. Like, every once in a while you get a cigar that's a little bit harsh. Harder to smoke. Even though we don't inhale these, it feels like it's in your chest anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's not this.
So how do you think this stacks up with the rest of the Perdomo line?
Very well. I'm a huge fan of Perdomo though, so like they have a lot of cigars that I like a lot. I want to say I'm a huge fan of their Sungrown.
That's what this is, Sungrown.
Yeah. So, but it's not aged as long as this one. So like,
right.
At that lower tier, like at that price point on that one, which I want to say I think it was like $10, $11.
It's like $10, yeah.
Price point included, all of that stuff. I'd probably smoke that one. But
it's way more available too.
And that's the thing. I can walk in and find it at a lot of places, right? Yeah. And you can buy it, and you're not breaking the bank to get it. This is like a celebration stick, right? Like
just because of the rarity
and how hard it is to get. But I mean, we both know, man. This thing in the Perdomo line, it's close to the top, like if it's not the top dog.
Right.
Right. I don't even think they make anything else that's. Do they make another one this old?
Like, I don't think so. No.
I don't think there's any other.
So
ones.
they have a lot of anniversary cigars.
Yeah.
They have a 30. They have a 20. They have, of course, the 10s. But I don't think that as far as the actual age on the
aging
cigar,
process, right?
I don't
like. I think this it just has been perfected.
Right.
Right. Like.
And I seem to remember that they only did this once. Like they only put these out 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean they did a lot of boxes, but they only put it out once, and I think that's why you don't see, because they're not in regular production.
Right. You don't see them all the time.
Yeah, I think that's why they're so hard to find though.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to look again at what year they actually released them, but you know, so that means that these things are further aging in humidors.
Yep.
Wherever you're getting it from.
Yep.
You know, so and I've had them for 6 months, I think. You know, so they've been resting in my humidor as well. So I mean, the more time they get them, and
the better they get.
The better they get. Absolutely.
The better they get.
Well, I'm gonna try this Makers. You got the Pursuit. See how, I mean, I like the aroma on this thing, man. Like
but I do get quite a bit of ethanol on it.
I do get the ethanol. So I definitely get the French oak.
Yeah.
It's ethanol-y. Like it just tastes proofy.
Yeah, it's not a wower. It doesn't do anything special on the palate.
I would not have guessed that this was 110 if you didn't tell me. Like I would guess this is more like 120.
Really?
Yeah, it just tastes proofy.
Okay.
And there's not a lot of flavors.
It's not complex.
To carry the proof. It's not complex at all.
But again, so that's normally my bark about Makers anyway. Is just even at the low proof stuff, you know, there's no flavor and it's kind of harsh on the palate. Like
it is kind of harsh on the palate.
I don't find it to be, you know.
And I think that's my problem with all the other Makers is that mash bill. There's something about that mash bill I'm with you about. I'm not particularly impressed with it.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything special for me. It's not a bad bottle. Like it's just okay. And truthfully, I don't even know what that costs. You know, it was gifted to me as a birthday gift. Shout out Andrew, appreciate you, my guy. He literally said to me like, "Hey, you said you haven't tried a lot of Makers. Here's something for you to try.
Here's something that you probably wouldn't buy.
I wouldn't buy it. So I'm very happy that he brought it to me and allowed me to try it on his dime."
Oh, I love it.
But yeah, Andrew has brought us a bottle recently that is quite impressive. Should have, man, I forgot about that. We got to do the notary.
Oh, we do need to do the notary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you talking about that little bottle that he brought the other day, or
no, the one that came from Arizona?
Oh yeah, that one was good.
Yes, I have a bottle. I forgot. I buried it. I buried it. I ain't even lying.
You can't get it. Like
I buried it.
You're not gonna be able to get it again unless somebody goes out to Arizona. You know,
it's done. Like, and you can't even get it then. It was like a one-off.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's done. It's gone.
Man, gotta love those one-offs.
Yeah. But where are we on time? I don't know. We've been going.
We've been going for about 35 minutes. So
okay, that's funny that it felt right. It felt about time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, final thoughts, man. What you got?
All right. So final thoughts. I mean, the cigar is this thing is a cut above the rest of the Perdomo line, and it's in the realm of, like you said, it's a celebratory stick, or it's very elegant.
Yeah.
The tastes make you feel like you really are smoking something that is just super aged.
Yeah.
It's super.
It tastes way more expensive than it is.
Yes, thank you. And like it's just so good. And so I smoke these once every couple of months.
Yeah.
I mean, usually I'm sharing one with someone because I want to share the cigar.
Right.
They probably
Absolutely.
never had it, or whatever. And it's
greatly appreciated too.
This is a great cigar. Love for you to try it with me. And then the bourbons. So the Makers. I mean, if you love Makers, you'll probably love it. If you like stuff that has that oaky finish on it, that extra oaky finish, you might like it. My only complaint is that it's a little proofy, even at 110. It's kind of proofy and it's kind of harsh, like you say. That Pursuit, man, that bottle is a problem.
Yeah.
That bottle is a whole problem.
Yeah.
Like for $62 to get something that good, that's that complex, and that gives me all of these, different flavor points, man. I mean, that thing is incredible. What those guys are doing is
impressive. Yeah,
like it's insane
absolutely.
what
Absolutely.
That's what I got.
Well, for me, the cigar, like I said, this thing, it smokes above its price point. Make no mistakes. Like realistically, if you were to compare this to some of the other higher end cigars in the market, they could probably put a crazy price tag on it if they wanted to. Like realistically, just based on, the age of it, what they do to it, the quality testing, all of those type of things, they could probably charge a lot for it. I'm glad that they keep it in that below 20 price point.
I was happy to see it at $14.
Yeah,
I had no idea what it ran before I looked it up.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like it, and realistically, like I said, this could shoot up there at some of those big hitters, right? Like this is just as good as an Opus.
It's hard for me to argue that.
I want to say something else, but I'm not.
Well,
I'm not going to say it. But it's just as good as a regular Opus, right? So phenomenal stick. The construction is great. It's a beautiful looking cigar. Flavor is amazing. If you haven't had one of these, you have to go get it. As far as the Maker's Mark, I'm not a Maker's Mark guy, so don't hold it against me that bottle doesn't blow me away. It's a good pour. Again, I don't know what that bottle costs, so I can't give you any more than that. It's a good pour. It's not one that I would visit every day. I do think it has some uniqueness that it doesn't taste like anything else I've had.
Yep.
But that's partially because it just tastes harsh to my palate, right? And I feel that way about a lot of makers. As far as the Pursuit goes, I'm partial to this bottle. Not gonna lie, right? Like it was my first pick that I was involved in. But the flavors on it are so robust. Okay, they stand out on your palate. You can taste so many different things. But I feel that way about a lot of Pursuit products. Like Pursuit is doing something very, very special. Two guys decided to, on a whim, they wanted to make bourbon.
Well, I think they started the podcast first, right?
Yes.
And they had this passion project that they wanted to do their own blends and actually be able to sell them. Yeah. And like we talked about this at the lounge, one of the lounges one day, that it's becoming more and more important to have a master blender than it is to have a master distiller at these companies. So yeah. They've got something special going on.
They do. It's a phenomenal bottle. With all that being said, I'm not dissatisfied with anything we've done today, right? Like, no, Makers is okay. The Pursuit is much, 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 much better. The cigar,
it's ridiculous.
It's everything you want.
It's so good.
Everything you want. But yeah, so I guess we'll wrap it up, right?
Wrap it up, man.
Y'all know the drill, man. Make sure that you drink and smoke responsibly.
Absolutely.
Also, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that little bell so that you get notifications when we drop new content. I am Duran, no cool nickname, and my co-host sitting across from me is...
I'm Jason JB Smoke, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
That's right. Put some smoke in the air, folks.
Absolutely.